Good morning, students. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about the main components of the thermal power plants, in which we have discussed about the boiler, after that turbine, the condenser, and to inject the water from condenser to the boiler, there was pump, and further there was economizer and superheater to enhance the efficiency of the system. Today we will discuss how different parts get reflected into the real system. So let us start from the source of the energy, that is burning of the coal. So to generate the heat, we have coal as a fuel. First, to generate the heat, burning of the coal takes place, and coal burning takes place in a chamber that is known as the combustion chamber. And if the coal is placed in a solid form, then the complete burning may not be there. So to ensure the complete burning, the coal is pulverized and the powder form of the coal is mixed with the air and blown into the combustion chamber. Coal plus air. Now, if coal is pulverized, then we can say almost it can be ensured that the burning of the coal takes place quickly and complete burning will be there. But if we will inject the coal and air like this, then it is possible that the coal cannot go up. Okay, so and it will be settled somewhat here. So to push the coal upside, the injection of the coal with air will be focused in such a way that this air pressure at one point in one direction and this pressure in another direction. So it is arranged, these two are arranged in such a way that the pressure of these two creates a path like this. So in this way, the coal will not settle at the bottom and it will rise up. And if it will stay in the combustion chamber for little bit longer period, then complete burning can be ensured. Okay, still there is some settlement. However, by forcing and placing the focus of the pressure, the settlement of the coal particles can be minimized. Now the gas that is injected with the coal, after burning of the coal, get heated up, that passes from here, get heated up, and here the flue gases has very high temperature. Okay, at the same time, the boiler that is placed here somewhat like this. This is known as boiler drum. There is water in it. There is boiler drum, and in boiler drum there is water, and to minimize the heat dissipation from the combustion chamber wall, the water pipe has some arrangement that the water flow from the boiler like this, and it is placed like this. In this section, the water flow naturally from high pressure to low pressure. However, here when it get heated up, it rises and transforms into steam, and that steam comes into boiler and it get accumulated here. This is one tube. There are a number of tubes arranged throughout the walls of the combustion chamber, and they are arranged in such a way that the heat loss through the walls is minimized. They are also named as water walls. I have shown only one tube. There are a number of tubes arranged throughout the wall of the combustion chamber to maximize the steam collection. The steam that we are getting from here can be used to run the turbine. So steam can be collected from here and can be used to run the turbine. However, it is not so. At the last time we have discussed that this steam is further heated up with the help of superheater, that in the superheater the heat of the flue gases can be further utilized to increase the temperature of the steam. Okay, keep it down for steam. So in this way the flue gases further increases the temperature of the steam that is passing through this tube, and this section is known as superheater. The superheated steam from the superheater goes to the turbine like this, and this steam goes to the turbine through nozzle, and it has very high pressure, and when this steam strikes to the turbine blades, the energy from the steam get extracted from the turbine, and like this, and the shaft and turbine rotates, and its shaft is connected to the generator, and generator generates the electricity. This is the one possibility. However, in natural turbine the pressure is very high. So to make it optimized, a sequence of turbines, a sequence of 2 or 3 turbines are placed. That is named as high pressure turbine, medium pressure turbine and low pressure turbine. And sometimes it is only high pressure and low pressure turbine. And the exhaust of turbine goes to the condenser. Let us consider here 2 turbines. We can say high pressure and low pressure turbine. let us consider the combination of two turbines, and the exhaust of, okay, we can say the exhaust of this turbine goes to the another turbine, like the exhaust from the low pressure turbine is passed through the condenser, and in condenser the steam is condensed, and the condensed form of steam, that is water, is fed back to the boiler, can be fed back to the boiler through the valve. It can be injected back to the boiler. This is one possibility. And to condense it, cold water is injected in, and from here hot water will come out. You can leave this hot water to the atmosphere. However, the life of animals and aquatic life where it is being thrown can get affected, so it is not advisable. So for that purpose there is further a modification in the design that we will discuss later. But right now, to condense the steam, cold water is injected, and when it is condensed, the heat of the steam is transferred to the water and it gets heated up, and that hot water is thrown out. And this condensed steam, now it is water, it can be fed back to the boiler, but that is not advisable yet, because the system will be very less efficient, as a huge amount of the heat is lost from here, and further some heat of this can be lost again. So what we can do, this can be fed back to the boiler through economizer. So for that purpose, this is passed through economizer, but here the pressure is not very high after the condensation. So what can be there? A valve can be placed, a pump can be placed, and with the help of this pump the condensed water can be forced, and that can be arranged in this way, so that the gas that is coming from here still has some heat, and that heat further increase the temperature of the condensed water, and it can be fed back to the system from here. You can say from like this. This is known as economizer. This is superheater, this is economizer. And combustion chamber, boiler, condenser, and pump, okay. Is there any possibility to increase the temperature, increase the efficiency of the system? If we think, then we can find, before feeding back this steam to the low pressure turbine, we can pass through we can get the steam that is coming from here, further heat, and then can be injected to the low pressure turbine. So what modification we can do from here? What we can do here, we can do some modification like that, and the steam is allowed to pass like this, that can collect the heat from the flue gases that is coming from here, and the steam that is passing from here get further heated up, increase the temperature, and that can be fed back to the low pressure turbine. In this way, the steam that is coming from here get additional temperature, and here the expansion pressure can be high, and that can cause the further additional pressure to run the turbine. And the generator is connected here, and the generator generates the electricity. So this is the full system. This is superheater, this is economizer, and this is called, as we are heating the steam again, so it is named as reheater. Let us do some analysis in this case. If we read the literature, then we find ideally the thermodynamic efficiency of the system is, in ideal case, that is around 50 to 60%. It means 40%, 50 to 40% losses occur in the system, and practically it is 35 to 40%. So we can observe almost 60 to 65% heat loss occurs from the system. We are generating the heat, and of that heat around 60 to 65% is goes in the form of loss. Consider a thermal power plant that has to generate the power of 400 megawatt. Consider Kasimpur thermal power plant. It has to generate 400 megawatt power, and that is around 35 to 40% only. Consider 40%. In that case, 60% is loss, only 40% is this. So that will be 400 x 40% is only 400. So x should be 400 into 100 divided by 40. From here we can say 1000 megawatt power should be generated, heat equivalent in terms of heat. This much heat should be generated, and we can find almost 600 megawatt energy is in the form of loss. So from here we can find the system should be optimized to minimize this part. So in next turn we will discuss what are the possible steps that can minimize this.